We are creatures of the light. Every myth, every god, every unit of time we use to measure our lives is tethered to a single celestial object. It is the engine of our biology, the clockwork of our world, the source of all energy, all warmth, and all life. It is so fundamental to our existence that we rarely truly consider it. It is a given. But this warmth, this light is a veil. It's a thin, fragile film separating our tiny, impossible reality from the default state of the universe. The default state is darkness. There is a common thought experiment. What if the sun disappeared? The answer is simple. We would freeze. We would die. But this question is unimaginative. It's incomplete. It assumes our world, our Earth, could even exist, waiting to be frozen. A more terrifying, more fundamental question is, what if the sun never existed? What if the anchor of our solar system was never formed? What if there was no day one? To understand this, we must go back before the beginning. 4.6 billion years ago. This was the solar nebula, a colossal interstellar cloud. In our timeline, something a shockwave from a nearby supernova triggered its collapse. A pocket of this cloud began to spin, to condense, to fall in on itself under its own gravity. At the center, a protostar ignited. Our sun. Its gravity became the anchor, and the leftover material, the dust and gas in the spinning disk, formed the planets. But in this reality, the trigger never comes. The animation stops. It hangs motionlessly, and then it just drifts apart. The dust cloud dissipates, becoming thinner, more spread out. It fades back into the blackness of the background. There's no collapse, no ignition, no protostar. There is no gravity well to anchor a system. There is no sun. And without the sun, there is no solar system. There are no planets. No Jupiter, no Saturn, no Earth. The very material that would have built our world remains a cold, diffuse cloud of gas, drifting forever in the void. This is the most likely, most accurate answer. The experiment ends here. A world without a sun is no world at all. But let's assume that through some impossible cosmic chance, a planet did form. A rogue planet, a stealth planet, a body, the same mass and composition as our Earth, coalesced in the dark, untethered to any star, and was flung out into the interstellar ocean. What would this Earth look like? The first thing to understand is the darkness. After a few seconds, a faint outline of a sphere appears, barely visible against the black. It is not lit. It is just there. It would not be the darkness of night. Night, on our planet, is bright. It is illuminated by the moon, which is just a mirror for the sun. It would be a darkness that is absolute, profound. The distant stars would be pinpricks faint, cold, and offering no light. The sky would be a static, unchanging, and utterly black void. And then there is the cold. Not minus 20 degrees Celsius or minus 100 degrees Celsius. The surface of this rogue Earth would, over billions of years, cool to the temperature of the universe itself, 3 degrees above absolute zero. The atmosphere would not be a gas. It would be a solid. The entire sky, the nitrogen, the oxygen, the carbon dioxide would be frozen. It would be a layer of ice miles thick, encasing the entire planet. An ocean of solid air, coating a globe of rock-hard water ice. There will be no weather, no wind, no sound, only silence. A perfect, sterile crystal tomb. But it would not be dead, not entirely. Deep below the miles of frozen sky and frozen ocean, the planet's core would still be active. Radioactive decay, the same process that drives our plate tectonics, would be generating heat. This heat would radiate outwards. And somewhere, in the deep, it would meet the cold. A subsurface ocean, the only place in this entire world that is not frozen solid. Could life exist here? In this absolute sunless, pressurized dark? On our Earth and our oceans, we find them. Hydrothermal vents, ecosystems that do not run on sunlight. They run on chemosynthesis. Life based on the chemical energy of the Earth itself. Perhaps in this dark ocean life would find a way. Not complex life, not fish or plants, but a thin microbial slime. A microscopic ecosystem clinging to the warmth of these vents. A world where the only definition of life is a single-celled organism in a pressurized, scalding, and pitch-black tomb. A world that does not even know that light exists. This is the hypothesis of the void. It is a thought experiment that reveals a terrifying truth. Until we are looking at the dark, rogue planet again, it hangs in the void, almost invisible. This world, this dark, sterile, frozen planet is not the exception. It is the default. This is what the universe is. A cold, lightless, and empty space punctuated by rogue, dead worlds. After a moment, faint, distant galaxies appear like the Hubble Deep Field, but desaturated, cold, and lifeless. Our world, our sun, we are the exception. We are a rounding error, a cosmic impossibility, a temporary, fragile bubble of warmth and light in an ocean of cold and dark. We are not investigating some alien world. We are investigating the alternative, the reality that exists just on the other side of a thin, protective veil of gravity and fusion. We are back on the grainy 1960s footage of the children playing in the sun. It plays for a few seconds. It is silent. Then it freezes. The horror isn't that the sun could disappear. The horror is that it exists at all, and that it proves how truly empty the rest of the universe is.